Cleaning up a couple saws tonight. We got the Polan Pro Electric. Actually works pretty good. Use it a few times. It's not bad. And then we got the old Wildcat. It's seen some better days. It's cut a lot of wood, this thing. A lot of elm, super hard wood. Hard on the chain, hard on the saw. Gets really hot. Anyways, I've actually blown up one before this, but yeah, the chain's getting kind of wore, as you can see. Elm's really, really hard on it. Pretty well have to sharpen it every other tank of gas. So I'm going to put this chain off this other blown up saw that I had, but the chain's still in pretty good shape. So we'll switch chains, sharpen them both up, and there's my files I'm going to be using today. These big fat ones are on the right are better than the little skinny ones, it seems. The profile's a bit better. See how on this worn out chain, how inconsistent the teeth are. That one's kind of, the angle's gone. That one's fairly normal, super small, fairly normal, but easy to sharpen your teeth on the chain. You just match the profile of the tooth. You can see how it's on an angle. Hold the file nice and level. You don't want it tipped up or tipped down too far. And just forward strokes with the file, and then until you got it nice and clean edge. See how it's nice and sharp and clean. There's the tooth I just sharpened right there. And right behind it, this sets the depth of the cut. And as your chain wears, these are on an angle coming down, right? So as this wears, it gets lower and lower and lower, and you have to lower this as well. Be awful careful when you're taking some off. You just use a flat file, set it right on top, and you know, average of say 3 or 4 strokes across it. Just take the top off it a little bit. But make sure you don't take off too much, because it'll start grabbing if you take off too much. Consistent with each one. If we've run it across there 4 times, you run it across this one 4 times. Lay it off, you just spin these 1/2 inch nuts off, 1/2 inch wrench. Pull the cover, be all dirty, needs all blown out, obviously. And just pop release the tension. Here's this handy little feature here with the 1/2 inch that releases tension. See how it just releases tension there? It's got a little prong that pushes in and out on the thing there for tension. Handy setup. See how I got it all blown out and the oiler is working now because it was all plugged up before. Yeah, working fine now. They're switched over. A lot nicer looking teeth on this chain here. I flipped the bar. I always flip the bar every time. I got it facing down now, the Oregon sign. Before I had it facing up, just to wear it evenly, I guess. So I got this awesome tensioner here. I got the tensioner right there, screw set loose. And I got just hand pressure put on that with these loose here. And it's just about, well, I only have one hand, but just about perfect chain tension. And then just crank those tight and it should be pretty much ready to cut. Yeah, not bad chain tension. That'll work. Usually have to tighten it up after you run it for a bit, but yeah, should work good. Clean up the spark plug now. There's 3 Torx T25 screws located there. Take them out to get out the spark plug. Saw's awful dirty after only a couple weekends of cutting. You can see how the dust is up and everything. There's the air filter. That could definitely use blown out. And there's your spark plug, all underneath the cover there. Yeah, I got her all blown out clean. Air filter's looking a lot better. I swapped this carb with the old saw. This one never ran right, but put this carb on it and it ran so much better. But when I swapped them, these lines were brittle. I don't know if you can see that green line down there. Swapped them out. Yeah, that helped a lot. Put a new fuel filter on. It's located inside the tank. There's a hole you got to get to, but you got to take the carb and everything off to get at it. Yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass, but yeah, I just watched a couple YouTube videos on it. Clean up the spark plug here on the lower wheel a little bit. Check the spark plug gap here. It's supposed to be 0.25. There's 0.25, and that's what she's at. Few pulls, purring away like a kitten. When I swapped the carburetor on the side to set the high and low idle on this, on the carb, I guess, to get it to idle right and to run without bogging, when it was wide open, it was bogging a touch. So with the low idle there, the L, you just turn it back until it's just about to snuff out, but just running away. And that's where that setting is. And then for the high, you run up the saw to wide open. And like I said, mine was bogging, so I just turned it up or down a little bit because it was getting slightly too much fuel until it was not bogging anymore. Just barely not bogging. You want lots of fuel hitting it for the lubrication, but yeah, and then it was running fine. I haven't had to touch it since.